Okay. So if you guys just can confirm that you can hear me as well as you can see Euro USD on the screen. Loud and clear. All righty, we're recording. So today I just wanted to kind of come with a special session. I didn't plan it. I posted it in the groups and I figured, why not? It didn't seem like anyone was working. People were probably, we had a really good week. A lot of us in Forexia. It was just one of those very clear market maker weeks where structure was so clean. We had NFP in a full moon cycle last week, and we had a real shift in the market. And when those shifts happen, if you do your back test, the following weeks are pretty clear because the market maker worked into those traps on the NFPs a lot of times when you see those big shifts or traps like we saw with Euro USD here. This was NFP, the stop hunt, and we have been bullish since. So, I feel like when we have good weeks, sometimes we can ease off the gas. We pop the bottles, we chill, we do all of that. And so today I wanted to make sure we stay focused because we want to stay consistent. We don't want to just work hard when things are going bad and ease off the gas when things are going smooth. So let's just keep it going. Let's keep progressing, keep leveling up, keep improving. Now, I have a few questions for the chat. This won't apply to everyone, but I have a few questions. So first question is, how many of us have come from poverty, okay? Have come from impoverished situations where our parents may have not been able to provide the best life for us, and we had to struggle to get out of basically being poor. How many of us? Let's be honest. The glory is in the come up. So okay. Is that all? Only three of us? Then I guess a lot of us were blessed, with great circumstance, and we came from, you know, money. Okay. I know there's a few more of us. And don't draw on the screen. Things weren't good, but they weren't bad either. I will agree because I can relate. I come from impoverished situation, but there was always love in my house. So I never had to need for love or anything like that. So I was rich in love. So that's a plus. So the next question is, and it follows. Next question. How many of us have come from a background where we weren't taught financial literacy? We weren't taught to be smart with our money. We weren't taught about investments. And you may even come from a check to check background and upbringing. Okay, a lot of us. A lot of us. Yep, self-taught. Okay. So, yep, that's me. I've been taught to work hard for my money. Yep, exactly. So a lot of us come from a background where we weren't even taught, how to deal with money. Yeah, taught to become a number. And we don't even want to hold that against whoever raised us, our grandparents, our parents, aunts, uncles, whatever, because they may have not had that financial literacy to even teach us. Okay, yeah, get a good job and you'll be okay. Yeah, that's what a lot of us are taught. And we know with a good job, it's not guaranteed. No industry is guaranteed. Some people were lawyers, doctors, CEOs, had $500,000 salaries, and you lose your job, you live beyond your means, and you over leverage your life, meaning you have 100K in a bank, you put 50,000 down on a house to the bank, and you keep paying that off. You buy this $80,000 car with a $700 a month car note. You have kids. Yeah, that 500,000 go fast. Opposed to you could be someone who make 30K a year, don't have many expenses, saves their money, investing, Okay, so the money part doesn't matter. Dylan said, a guy that worked for a company for 35 years and then got laid off. Yep. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Audio is good. Okay. So I bring this up because I come from a background the same. I come from Chicago, okay? Inner city, south side of Chicago. And they call it Chirac now. A story I always tell is when I was little, I would literally collect bullet shells out of my dirt lot in my backyard for fun because there were shootouts every night, okay? And that's what kids, we like guns and bullets, right? And I remember just showing it to my mom one day, like, look, mom, look what I did. I found all these bullet shells. And she just gave me this look of like, I remember I was only like 4, but I remember that look. She's like, what the heck? Like, I gotta get this kid out of here, because we adapt to our environment. So I just want to highlight that we can all come from these backgrounds, but just because we start somewhere doesn't mean we have to stay there. We don't have to believe that we have to play into these archetypes laid out for us by society. If society says, oh, you're poor, you need to be a worker, you're never going to be anything, money is evil, they place all these beliefs on you and we grow up with it. And if you're here in Forexia, if you're here in this chat right now, there's a reason. Edward says break the cycle. And that's why a lot of us are here. All right. So let me just continue. I got one more question. And I know a lot of people ain't gonna want to admit this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. How many of us are not profitable in our trading? Okay, this is what I like to see. We got quite a few people. A lot of people not inconsistent. Some have lost a lot, going through the ups and downs of inconsistency. Um, exactly. Okay, so that means that a lot of us are not where we need to be at, and that's okay. That's okay because we're gonna get there. And acknowledging that you're not there is the first step, right? They say admitting's the first step. And then we have to examine why we're not consistent yet, why we're not profitable yet. A lot of it will be strategy, or we just don't got our plan down. We're not sticking to the rules. We're not journaling our trades. We're not managing our risk. All of the things that we teach in Forexia, right? In the underlying theme for people that, people like me, it took me a while to get it down. Some people get it down in months, some people get it down in years, some people take decades and they still haven't figured it out. And I'm sending my prayers because that can be so tough. But what I want to tell you is it comes down to our relationship with money. Okay, it comes down to our understanding of investing. What is investing? Okay, are you investing long term in a stock, in a crypto? Or are you just gonna, hyper invest daily scalps in the Forex market? Either way, you're still investing. The duration doesn't make it an investment or not. There are just different durations of investment. So you need to see everything you do, every action, as an investment in one way or another, whether it's you're taking the day off to invest in your wellness, to get some rest and rest your eyes, to get some family time in, whether you're investing in your wellness, you're working out, you're doing your stretching, you're listening to your positive affirmations, all of that stuff. These are all conscious choices that we make. And I make some bad choices myself. I watch so much dumb content on YouTube. I have to literally cut it off. I watch all these shows and, whatever. And I'm human, right? And I know when I need to cut it off. I know when sometimes I need to cut it on because I've been staring at charts and doing too much, work, and I need to dumb down my brain a minute. Okay. Yeah, distractions. And sometimes, a distraction can actually be good to let you relax. And the key point is that balance, balance. Boom to Blanche. You said it before me, man. Nice. All right, let me just read these. This is an interactive one, so we're going to look at some trade reviews from the week, but we'll just keep it going. So Dylan said he consistently makes profit, but not the amount money wise I want yet. I'm okay with knowing that it's this process. Yep, keep it. Don't even think about the money right now. Think about the percent of your account. So, if you have $100 account, risk 5%, risking $5. You have $1,000 account, risk $50, and the money will come. And get consistent, because you'll compound that. As once you get that $100 account to 200, you can risk 5%, which is $10. Okay, and if you can stay consistent and you bring in up money from other places, you can open larger accounts. But consistency, that's the word you said, and that's everything. If you're consistently making profits, you're on your path. So that's what I like. Let's see. Everything goes good with me until I lose one trade. Mike, that's all psychological, bro. That is your fear of loss. I'm sure you don't even got to tell me. I bet once you take a L, your trading start to tighten up, you start to overthink, you start to hesitate. But say fuck it, okay? If you need to lower your risk so you don't go through that, that's fine. Because if your risk is too high for your threshold, for your tolerance, it might affect your decision making when you take an L. Because I've been there too, went 10 in a row and then lose one and then throw off my whole game. And what has helped me to get past that is thinking in terms of risk, keeping my risk managed, learning my risk threshold, right? Which is important. What can I accept? Some people aren't even okay with 5%. Some people are good with 10, 15%. I've noticed 10% is a little much for me. I don't like losing huge 10% of my account on one trade. I want to be able to lose several in a row and be okay. And that gives me a comfort in this uncomfortable market. Additionally, you know, everything, it's just this perfectionist in us to get everything right. Okay. And we don't think in terms of probability. We get in this egocentric world where we see, oh, we were wrong, we're bad, we messed up. No, you can't think like that in this game, because you know, when you're taking shots, when you're taking a chance on the unknown, you're gonna miss here and there. You can keep improving. You see it. I'll say the best example I've seen is Mark English in the Forex Academy. This man with the trap correlation and breaking down the bot and his spreadsheets, he's damn near, close to perfect. But even he loses because he can get something wrong. He can have a bad day. He can get in a slump, because we're human. We are trading athletes. It's not no different than a star athlete who's in their zone. They have a great season. They win the championship. Then they miss, Kobe Bryant, Jordan. They miss a few shots here and there. You miss your opening shot in the game. You don't let that ruin your game. You gotta just keep shooting. And that's why, if you study sports, the best athletes, it's never the person who's most physically dominated who has the greatest career necessarily. A lot of times it's the person who is just consistent, who is fearless, who's able to forget. Okay, I give this great example. um Let me see if he's in here. Is Tony in here? Nah, Anthony's not in here. Okay, so one of my favorite athletes, he went to my alma mater, Wisconsin-Madison. Russell Wilson, quarterback for the Seahawks, about 4 years ago, he had a football game, American football. He threw 4 interceptions. That means he threw the ball to the other team 4 times, gave it up 4 times. This team was down all game. This man came back and threw 4 touchdowns in the second half and won the game. He forgot about those 4 misses in the first half. And it didn't matter because he won the game. And I actually used this example with one of my students who's a good friend of mine, who he had a great week last week. Okay. And then this week, he didn't wait for his setups, try to trade his setup early, and the induction kicked his ass on Monday, as well as he revenge traded the same pair 3 times. 3 times. Lost all 3 times. Had the direction right. Started off, he was distraught. And I gave him the whole Russell Wilson speech. Long story short, end of the week, he ended up in profit. Okay. Down to the buzzer Friday. And that's what it's about. That's called perseverance. And, you know, that's what we got to become. The word I used the other day to describe myself is I'm becoming a more calloused trader. And what do I mean by callous? I mean toughened, stronger, able to withstand the conditions. Things don't need to be always be perfect. Okay. Just remember that. Yeah. Risk factors, everything. Okay. What's up, Rashawn? Welcome to the party. No pop smoke. Okay, let's see. Yes, you guys are all right. I have to take less trades, wait for a setup. Yeah, wait patience. That's actually what I wanted to talk to everyone about today, but we kind of went down a different road. So yeah, I mean, patience is everything. Michael was saying it's weird how your mind changes once you lose. Yeah, you know why? Because your emotions getting involved. That's why. That's why. And you don't even realize it. You start to tighten up. If you check your heart rate, check your breathing, you might be doing little things like sweating, moving around, getting antsy. And all I can say is you have to work through it when you're going through it. You can't run from it. You can't run from adversity. You need to be okay. What do Brandon say? Be comfortable being uncomfortable. So when you get in that trade, you need to, and it's going in drawdown and it's 9 pips against your 10 pip stop loss, you have to say, I accept the risk. I accept the risk. Say it to yourself. I accept the risk. Check your heart rate. You know, you have to do these things while it's going on. And it doesn't happen overnight. If you can set and forget to close it when you need to, but my point is you cannot run from this. You have to change your physiology if this is for you. I used to, when I started and I was going through my journey, oh my gosh, I couldn't even stand being in a trade anymore. Like I would just want to close it. I don't even care. I just want to close it just to not be in it and have to go through it anymore. Anybody ever felt like that? I just want to close the trade so I don't want to have to go through this. I just want to be done. I don't care if I win or lose. I just want to be out. Don't it make you so antsy just thinking about it? And that's where we have to get away from, okay? And we have to get away from that by basically facing our fears, telling ourselves it's just money, telling ourselves in order to make money, you have to risk it. You know, you hear Brandon's on my, Brandon taught me a lot. What do he always say? He look at it like he giving a loan to the market. He going to give them these apples and get more later. Whatever floats his boat to cope with it, whatever floats your boat to cope, go, okay? That's what you have to figure out. Find that analogy that works for you. Find that understanding. If you have to lower your risk, then do so. If you have to go back on 0.01 just to go through the motions, then do it. I've done that. And then you work your way up, 0.01. Okay, I won 1, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05. Back to your lot size. Let me keep reading. Russ said, I noticed my fingerprint doesn't open my phone when I'm about to enter a trade. My hands sweat. Yo, your hands sweat. They don't let you unlock your phone. That's so funny, bro. Like, no, you know what's funny? Because I had an Apple Watch and it was just so funny because I would enter a trade and I have a like heart rate monitor and then it would just go off. And then I had an app called Breathe and it tell you when you're hyperventilating basically, and it was like click enter trade. My watch would be like breathe. So that's why I like little things like that because it helps me get through it, right? Nah, buy the watch. I got rid of the watch, but it's actually good. Like if you want to monitor your physiological state in those times, because that's actually how you rewire yourself, So yeah, that's kind of my point. Let's see, we're having such a good combo. Did anyone have any questions? Or I just want to ask y'all those 3 questions and talk about it. Anyone have any questions, or we can go look at some setups? I'm just drinking my tea. Yep. So you know what I'm talking about. Do you use cybernetics? I've heard of that before. Um, I'm not even sure what the term is. Forex Boss said he have a suggestion. Hang on, I'm gonna unmute you. Gonna unmute you. What's up, Tony? Okay, you can talk. What's your suggestion, bro? Or sis? You there? I can hear you. What's up? What's your suggestion, bro? Oh, it's okay. I think he don't want to talk. All right, I'm gonna mute him. We're gonna continue on. Please, how can we know if a trade has to be long-term or short-term? How can you know? You can't know exactly, but you know what we do. We use the higher time frames to find bigger moves, because the way that we trade is in line with the banks. So we're always looking for these big market maker inductions. So we don't necessarily know if a trade is going to be long term or short term, but we can set up our risk management in a way that can account for that. So like what I do is called twin trading, twin positions. And on my first position is usually almost like a scalp, because I take a quick, I usually secure 1-to-1. So let's just give a live example. Let's say I enter, and I actually did enter this. We'll review it. We'll show you why this is such a simple setup. Let's say I enter here, and then price pulls back. 2 things I can do. One, can set my trailing stop to here and let price do what it do. So maybe this is a scalp, maybe this is a swing, I don't know. But as price goes down, I continue to trail my stop loss, right? Bringing it down, bringing it down. You can write into your trade management. So you could just have 2 positions, say, okay, I risk 10 pips. When this one goes 20 pips, securing a 1-to-1, or, I'm either gonna trail it super tightly, or I'm just going to close one position and move my other one to break even, which is what a lot of us do. So this makes you flexible to move with the market. Now, we can always project where price may go. For instance, my projection could be here, for going to go back to the low, but I don't know that. But, that's why we set it up in the trade management to account for how the market wants to move. And that's where we get the term be like water from. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Oh, no worry, couldn't speak. But if you wanted to put your suggestion in the chat, Forex Boss, I can say it for everyone. Go for it. 10 minutes, geez. I don't know if it's okay for you plan today, but I want to know better how to exit trades. Oh, yeah, man, that's actually what we've been talking about. It's like exiting trades and all 5 taking out and break even. What I would do is exactly what I was saying, bro. Like, trail it and profit, or like close one position to take some off the board at a certain point. Usually securing a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So if you risk 10 pips on 2 positions, take off 20 pips on that first position and leave the other one. At break even, and then let it do its thing. And maybe all 5 hit you at break even, but you secured 20 pips on the other ones, or at least 3. So you still got out with 60 pips, set it up in your plan to be adaptable to the market for sure, especially, because we don't always get 100 pips. We don't always get a big super swing. And I mean, if that's your strategy and you're going to do that and wait for that big fish and get taken out at break even a bunch of times, that's okay. But that's a super patient game. You saw what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll definitely have more weekend sessions. We usually do them in our private groups, but I made today open to everybody. Rashawn said, do I use 96 EMA on the 15-minute? Shit, I don't even need an EMA, bro. I just use price, but you can use EMAs to trail, like if you want some type of area, because you know the EMA is going to be the average price. So you could very well, you know, price shift, just keep trailing your stop loss right here, right here, right here. Who knows how far it dropped? And then whenever it come back and violate the average, then you get taken out. So yeah, trailing to the EMAs is a great tool also. Let's see here. Cool. Yeah, two positions, divide the risk. If you take 1% on two position, yeah. So like, say you're risking on $100 account, you're gonna risk 10%. So each position can be 0.05, totaling 10% of your account. And then, like, let's say it goes up 20 pips, you take off the 10% risk. So now you made 10% grow. Now you have a runner. If that runner go for 100 pips, 200 pips, you doubling your account, okay? If not, you at least secure some pips and you're growing your account steadily. All right, so before we get out of here, I'm just gonna review EU because I know well, let me just check. I don't want to leave y'all hanging with the questions. Once a trap shifts, I've been testing ECR entry. Yep, that's what I do. Wait for the shift is my whole motto. My question is, if I open like 5 different trades at one point at a time, I got a loss and eventually there can gains of time, I'll close the trade because I feel the loss comes around again. Bro, you're opening too many trades for your tolerance. That's why. Stop opening 5 trades. Pick the best trades. Limit yourself to like 3. Okay. When you ready to level up, then you could do 5 at a time. Focus on all you need is 1. You only need 1 trade. You don't need 5 open at a time. And that means you're struggling to manage them. So you're not there yet. And you may never get there because that might not be on your personality. I don't have 5 trades open. I know some people do, but you got to learn you. So maybe you're just not ready, or maybe that's just not for you. Okay. But I would just open fewer. If you're going to be holding these, wait till you secure in a few. Wait till you have a few trades in profit at break even, and then you can go ahead and, you know, enter some more because you're not worried about those other ones. So make sure you're trailing, making sure you're managing that risk. All right, 5 minutes left. We're going to do one analysis because I want to. So this was EU. It was a great setup. If y'all know how I trade, I love what we call the 4-hour trend line breakout. Now, what this is, we'll show you. Okay, let's kind of draw it. Remember, drawing trend lines is an art, not a science, but you want it to make a lot of sense, you know, for what retailers may be thinking, right? So just give me a minute. I need a minute to figure this out. Okay. That's why I know I deleted all my stuff and I could have just reviewed what I got, but nah, it's better to go through it every time. It's practice. Okay. Okay, so this was a sick setup. We had so many buyers induced when we were actually in a macro downtrend based on this breakout, okay? So these arrows indicate reasons to buy for retail traders, okay? I gotta go back on my 4-hour. Okay. Let's go ahead and note these macro trend line taps. You know, could draw it more like this if you want it. Because really, the whole point is that retail traders are drawing these lines to make sense of it. to give them reasons to sell, buy. So once it's just so obvious, everyone's seeing sell, what market maker got to do? Induced buys. So looks like an induction to me. And even if I'm wrong, we get some type of reversal. You know, I don't need this to go to this bottom, like I said. You know, the true trend can change at the drop of a hat. So this circle, I always like to signify what I call the trap zone here. Now, what constitutes a trap zone? A trap zone is an area where there are going to be 2 or more retailer trap confluences. Now, in this case, we have 2. We all know support resistance. Retail trader is taught something is a resistance, but then it can become a support, right? So that's what we kind of get in here. Maybe I want to shift. Let me just see. Right here for where price was or what it went, because we already have to move. Maybe like right there. Okay, so what we do when this happens, you know, this would have been the breakout here. Wait for this. And now what I want to see is our weekly daily structure. So this is what we teach in Forex here, right? Learn from Dylan. Oh, hang on, wrong one. Shit, we're gonna run out of time. Okay, so like we said in the chat, wait for the shift, accumulation. When we take them ECRs, 10 pips, we good. Okay, so just a nice clean setup. One of the 3 trades I took on Thursday, Friday, I was 2 for 3. Also got EJ reversal. Oddcat did take me out before the reversal. Awesome, 3 trades for the week. All right, guys, we are out of time. Try to fit in a full session. I appreciate everyone being, you know, talking. That's what's up. Peace out. Anytime, Ian. Appreciate you guys. Peace, peace.